you stick around because we're only getting warmed up.
Hey guys, just interrupting this podcast. We have launched our weekly newsletter called Wedding Weekly Intel, and it's all about the business of weddings, pinged into your inbox every week.
Bonus insights into every episode, key takeaways and summaries from previous guests, sneak peeks into the next upcoming guests, as well as loads of other like industry trends, things that are happening in the world of wedding business. Obviously, our perspectives on all of these things, tips, advice. Hopefully loads of wedding nuggets are going to help you in your business and give you something to think about for the week coming. And it's totally free.
All right, go and sign up. It's in our bio, in our Instagram, and it's in our bio, in our Instagram.
It's going to be in the description for the podcast, and it's also in our Instagram or messages for the link. We'd love to have you sign up. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Go get it. On with the episode.
Yeah, all right. Go on then.
Introduction. How are we doing, guys? Welcome to another podcast with me and Adam, Think Wedding Business, with, should we say the GOAT or not? Is that a bit too strong, really?
No, I think that's probably fair.
The guy we've got today has been very inspirational for me, but mainly for Adam. A real outstanding sort of pillar of the wedding videography community. I would say one of the early pioneers of a certain style of videography. Very cinematic, very different than the average kind of wedding film you'd get. So we better introduce him because you probably wonder who it is. We've got Mr. Philip White with us today. So thank you for coming along and being part of the podcast, mate. It's been too long. We've been trying to get you on for about the last 3 years.
Oh, no.
Here you are in Winghouse.
Really bad with it, aren't I? really bad with it.
I've been asking Phil to do something like this for about 7 years, I think, on and off. And I just gave up.
It's not through not wanting to do it. It's just like...
I'm
just terrible. I'm just really bad at
So
committing.
Through our teachings and through the course, we always sort of bang on about matching and mirroring and finding the best people in the industry and learning from them and sort of coming into their world and getting into their insights. And that was one of the first things that I sort of mentioned to Adam when he wanted to get into the film. So you need to find who can we let, and we found Philip White and a few others. And he was quite instrumental in your beginning, wasn't he, Adam?
Yeah.
Should we?
This becomes embarrassing because Howard's like, oh, Adam's going to be so excited that Philip's here. I am, but
I'm trying to talk now because I think it's just going to be a bit of a video fest for the rest.
It could be.
This is a nice full circle moment for me to sit here with both of you, because if there was two people that have been the most influential in my business, it would be obviously Howard, but you're on the video front. It was your course.
Yeah,
absolutely. Howard's right. But when I started, and as we advise other people now, find the top guys and just be influenced by them, being inspired by what they're doing, kind of try and emulate it to an extent. And when I started, there was a list of 3 or 4, and you were on it. And I think you were the only one out of that list that had actual like workshops, education on offer. So of course I went on the course, and I was like, I wouldn't say it changed everything because I didn't have any. I was so new, didn't have any idea of what to do. But I just soaked up everything that you said like a sponge, which was great. I suppose was a great time to do it as well, because I just followed everything that you said, from like the cameras to the approach to the business side of stuff, and it just started to work. It was certainly, I mean, even to this day, there's probably elements in there that I still think of subconsciously or not that probably came from your thing. So yeah, it is quite nice to be here now, so thank you.
No worries.
For me it was like my experience of wedding films, like prior to sort of knowing you and your style, was just a typical kind of old school guy with a big massive camera on his shoulder dictating everything, 5-hour long wedding films that are just boring. And you were just a breath of fresh air, and I'd never seen films like it. I'd actually watch your films. I'd go on your website. I'd enjoy watching them, and it was a whole new thing for me. It was amazing. Yeah. So, how did you get started? And did you see a sort of a gap in the market? You think wedding videos are boring. I need to come in and do something a bit different, or were you inspired by somebody? How did you evolve to the Philip White you are today?
So I started just doing photography, just doing wedding photography, same as like most people do, or they shoot a mates, and then it kind of, at the time, it just snowballs kind of like spirals like really quickly. And it was Jeff Wood's films. Like, honestly, that was it. I just saw like one of them, and I don't know where or how it came about, but just exactly the same as what you've said about like watching mine. I was like, how have you done this? Like, I was like, this is witchcraft. It's like, this is insane. And I was just a bit obsessed, and was like, and couldn't find out. And there was no one else here who was kind of doing anything like that.
Yeah, he was another one on the list as well. He was similar, very similar
my
to
list,
you.
yeah.
And he'd been doing it a few years like before me, but I was blown away. I was like, I just don't understand how you've made this. I kind of like those days when you could watch something and just be completely blown away because you don't really know what's involved in it. I kind of miss that now, because you could put any film in front of us now and you're not really watching it like as a film. You're just breaking it down and going, oh, you've done this, or that's a bit shaky, or if you do, you know what I mean? So the passion, that kind of beauty kind of comes out of it. I think I got a little bit of it from watching some of the films at the recent festival, the recent awards. The European ones, I'll say, how they were doing some of the stuff. I was like, shit, you just get absorbed in it, and you're like, man, that's...
Same for me, actually. First time in a while where I've gone,
shit.
Whoa, that's different. Yeah.
But then I still haven't... I'd planned to kind of just watch them and go, this seems so kind of current. It feels like this has got legs. And how have you done that? Because you've always got to adapt, haven't you? You're always just changing little bits, your style, your approach, different things. And I'm kind of like quite conscious that my kind of main like style change in terms of video, at least, was probably like 6 years ago. And it's remained exactly the same for about 6 years. But I'm like, it hasn't kind of followed how society has gone with trends and everything being more real and authentic and fast paced. It's still, my stuff's like slow and boring, and I'm like, shit, I actually think, that possibly needs to
Why do you think that? Do you think, have you noticed a change, outside factors, or?
Yeah, it's everything. It's just how it's how society is with social media, and the focus is now on making 30-second, like a 30-second film, content creation. It's like, how's that become a thing?
It's people's attention spans are a lot shorter than what they were.
So to give like a 6-minute, story-driven film or whatever, it's quite slow-paced music and slow motion footage. I'm like, oh, maybe. So we'd like on that, the last wedding that I filmed, and I don't film too many weddings now, but weirdly I had two next to each other. One was this weekend just gone, and one was the weekend before. And I turned up to the first one, and I was like, shit, I've not done this in about like 9 months or something. Like, this is crazy. But I told myself to change some stuff, so I switched from like all the slow-mo to like regular motion. I brought the monopod back, like nerdy video chat, but I brought the monopod back. I was like, no, I'm gonna go back to like how I kind of started doing it. I've come into the edit and been like, no, what have I done that for? Like, why have I done all that? So the one literally just this last weekend that I've done, I just went back to how I've been doing it for like 6 years, and kind of enjoyed it really a lot better. But I'll still try and make that. I'll still try and speed that up a little bit, but I'm not quite sure how.
Were you, when you saw Jeff's and that inspired you to then try and figure out how he'd done that and do something similar, were you conscious that wasn't really a thing at the time, and it was new, and there was like a market for it?
Oh, it's a huge market, because no one had seen anything like that. Like, we hadn't, and we're kind of in the industry as photographers or whatever. But if you think like everyone now, every kid, everyone getting married, everyone in their 20s,
they see it all the time.
They've seen a wedding video. They know it, and that's why it's hard for them to distinguish between someone who's just started, who's all right, someone who's...
Imagine if they went back in time 10 years or 15 years, then the sort of wedding videos that were about...
Do you think you had the advantage of timing, because back then, like someone like Jeff's work that stood out to you, it must have been quite rare to come across that, whereas now you'd go on your Instagram and you'd see 50 different examples of films.
So it's hard, so you can't get through to that. You might never get through to that stuff because there's so much of it.
Yeah.
There's so much of it, which is like kind of. I read a thing the other day about when you're putting content out there, and you might be hesitant about putting content out there, and it's like it's a drop in the. It's minuscule, and
Just
you
do
know,
it.
no one's gonna see it. So you've got to. It's a shame that you've got to put more and more and more and more content. The more content you put out, the less quality that content's going to be. But for people to actually see it, I suppose that's it. But it is it's timing. But then I think anyone who started, not even like then when I started doing it, even like it's so weird that you could look on like 6 years ago, 7 years now, and go. Like almost like the glory days because you were just getting inquiries.
They were though, weren't they?
You wake up in the morning and be like, oh well, there's 5 inquiries. I'll take my pick from them. And so that's how I got the jobs that I got just by, I could shoot in the early days like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 weddings a year. But then I'd go through it and be like, oh, these are the ones that I wanna do. So I'll only put 3 of them out. I'll put the 3 out that have got this location or that location. So it was kind of like illusions or smoke and mirrors or whatever. But it's harder to do that now.
Yeah.
It's so much harder to do that now. And it everyone's looking at why, and people are like, oh, is it through COVID or whatever else? It's like, no, it's just because partly COVID, yeah, but there's so many people, there's thousands more people doing it. It used to be that there'd only be like a couple of people in the town. It's like, oh, he's the local wedding photographer or whatever. Guarantee now, you've probably got someone on every other street who's involved in something.
It's your fault. You spawned all these people.
Oh, that's what you complain and being like, what have I got to do to get some more work? I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And you're like, well...
It's probably our fault as well, because we've got hundreds of students through our course, haven't we?
Yeah,
your workshop and style was a big influence on me, and then I've gone on and we've then gone on to do our own stuff, and then there's people that have learned come through me, and then now they're doing their own stuff, and then so like it all stems back to this tiny little pool that you were part of.
Yeah.
And I still hear people going, fucking Philip White, there's too many videographers now.
There's too many Philip White.
It all goes back to you because
Philip White clones
pretty much educated
but then
half of the country.
It would just go to show how much that style was just needed and wanted, and people wanted something different, definitely.
But you had a real formula with how to approach the day, how to film it, how to make these. It was real. I remember finding it really practical.
Yeah.
Of how you could actually show me how to put these films together, and then once you demystified it, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It wasn't just some wishy-washy arty like.
Yeah. If you bring down the process,
you've got to have a vision, and you've got to you've just got to be artistically minded, and there's no way of doing it otherwise. Yeah. You were like, no, you can just do this, this, and this. Use this lens, use this angle, light, but edit it this way.
You can break it all down into like
put it onto auto
stages, and well, it is some of it. A lot of it is. It's like
I don't want to diminish the skill.
It's the bits that you put in auto, and the bits that you don't.
So we're going to come on to the marketing and how you get your work and things, because we know that your standard of work has to be bang on. Yours is amazing, but it's not just a case of creating brilliant work, isn't it? It's actually getting people to know you. And how do you start getting them bookings in? So did you transition from photography, and then as inquiries for photographers come in, and you were like, I also do video, and was that the sort of progression with it? Or
no? So what I did, which is
this the Paris story?
No,
so I want you. All right,
no.
I want to ask you about that after.
This is real story. Kind of like early days, and when I was photographing weddings. Then I saw Jeff's stuff.
Yeah,
and I was like, how can I get the bookings that I've got in place, or the bookings that are going to come in place? How can I get them to have video instead? And it baffles me now that this actually happened, but I got in touch with say I had like 10 people booked up for photos. I called them all, or emailed them all, and was like, listen, can I do video instead? But what I'll do is I'll just take you some still frames from the footage. And they all went, yeah. They all just changed their mind. So all of these photography clients for 12 months just went, yeah,
cool.
I'll have video. And we just went for it.
We planned our wedding last year. I think nowadays, if my photographer had rang up me saying that, I'd have gone, no, you can't. And now I don't really
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
go with you anymore. That's weird.
It's so weird. You might kind of try this thing or whatever, but
Again, it's a sign of the times because people know more about it now. But yeah, I suppose
But
at that time,
they
everybody
all
did
did
it.
it.
Don't forget that you're in the industry, Adam, as well, aren't you? So you might have been.
Yeah, but it's bizarre that
differently,
that
but-
was so.
yeah. But then that opened the door to doing them, and then it's, I don't know. I say this all the time. You make decisions. You make business decisions every single day. So every day you go in, do I go left? Do I go right? And generally the tougher decisions are the ones that get you the kind of the better results. But at that time, work was just fly and I say this from, I remember, so even if we go back from that, even another 3-4 years, it was something like that. I remember that we set up an online system, like a payment system, and that was years ago, and no one was doing that. And I think it was to book a portrait session,
Right.
something like that. And bearing in mind that the website wasn't live, it all went on live one night. We put it online, and the following morning, I had 2 people had sent over the £100 or whatever. And I was like, how's that even a thing? Can you imagine now just pressing publish on a WordPress site, and then in the morning waking up and you've got
Inquiries,
bookings?
yeah.
It would never
It's
happen now,
that's
would it?
just not even.
Yeah.
But you used to be able to post a film. Even when I started, it was just put your film on your highlights film on Facebook, a Vimeo link
Yeah.
to a full wedding highlights film on Facebook.
Yeah.
And tag everybody in it, and you'd get 5 or 6 inquiries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that easy.
Yeah.
Same on Instagram. And now it's you're scrambling for 5 or 6 views.
Yeah. But everything, it's
changed
accepting
massively.
why that is. And I was thinking about this the other day, literally walking the dog, and I was just literally chuckling to myself, thinking I used to be able to, I'd post a picture of, could be anything, a fucking fly on the floor or something on Instagram, and it'd be there's 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
It's just and you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And it is. Now you're I'm posting, and you could be really proud of something, and you go, I'll post this, and you'd be like, geez, 5. It's 5. I was like, come on, go. Oh, it's the same people, and
Yeah.
it's either your friends or the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm convinced a few people got notifications that I've posted something, but you're like, come on.
But you say, we laugh at that it was so easy, but you did, like you say, you took that right turn and you did the hard thing at the time, which was, I'm not just going to do the photo that they booked me for, I'm going to ask them to do video.
Yeah,
then I'm going to have to figure out how to do the video and deliver that and hope that it works out. And I feel like you've always made those kind of decisions where other people go, oh, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I want to ask about the Paris story,
Okay.
because I don't know if you might know this, but that was a turning point for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think in the sense of,
So I'm getting the feeling here that your work was really leading your bookings and your marketing, and you let your work do the work to bring the bookings in, or were you doing anything actively to actually get bookings? Were you doing adverts? Were you doing networking? Were you ringing up venues? What?
No.
So it was more your work.
It was
kind of
just
led the
work.
way.
But what it was,
because it was so unique and
But it
so
was so
different.
good and new, and easier to get eyeballs on it at that time. I suppose it did work.
Yeah.
But then if you have 20 to choose from, and you're only putting out 2 of them, not even that, 30, 40 to choose from in the year, and I was so selective.
Yeah.
And it was always which are the best out of these 20?
Yeah.
And then if another one coming in and I thought that one of the ones online wasn't as good for whatever reason, then I'd take that off. So it was always refining that portfolio.
Putting your best stuff out. Yeah.
It's not necessary. It's not ability. It's the ability to pick and choose and go, I want this bit in. And that was being things aren't in your control. So if you did a wedding, and it could be the most beautiful wedding in a location, stunning couple, anything else, but then if one thing didn't work quite well, I'd be like, shit, I can't put it in.
That wasn't making the portfolio.
Because that wasn't making the portfolio.
Yeah.
And I used to be gutted. I'd go overseas to places, and everything had come together, and you'd be like, this is going to be incredible. And then all of a sudden, one thing wouldn't work. Me and Jono shot in the Maldives, and that was 10 years ago today. Because a notification came up last night, so I think it was 10 years ago today. And we were just sounds quite big-headed fucking Billy here, but it was private island and like they gave us a butler and everything, and like I was like, how's this a thing? Like there's little private planes, and I was like, we're in the Maldives. And then we went, and I was like, I've got to go and meet the couple. So I went and knocked on the door, and the bride came through, and she was stunning. And then she was like, "Oh, come and meet my my fiance." This guy come through, old guy. And straight away I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" It's like, you've ruined my film. So no thoughts that it's their film. They flew me to like this island. I spent the afternoon basically complaining to John and being like, I can't believe he's old.
Because that brings,
He's an old man.
yeah, he's not portfolio
He's
worthy.
not portfolio.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is this tying into the story where you asked him if he was the father of the bride and it was actually the groom? Or is that a different story?
I think that's a different one. Yeah. I think that's.
I've definitely
There is one like that.
Yeah.
I've done that and despite spending like quite a bit of time with like the bride beforehand, then met her with no makeup on and been like,
Who are you?
When's she turning up? She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, when's the bride turning up? She's like, you can sat with me for 20 minutes. It's you.
Yeah. But I get what
Wow.
you're saying. So that ruined it for you. You're like, fucking hell, this would have been the best portfolio ever, but it's an old fucking groom and it's going to look weird.
Sounds
there was a
sounds
lot of
awful
that.
that now to think like that, but that was a real factor because that wouldn't sell as well.
Yeah. But and everything's
So the
changed now.
I'm
ideal
sure it was
crowd.
amazing. I'm sure it was a mega wedding. It was brilliant,
yeah.
and the film was awesome, but didn't quite make the grade for the
It has
portfolio.
changed, though,
stuff.
hasn't it?
It has changed because this whole kind of like authenticity kind of movement and
yeah.
stuff comes through. Everybody just
Which is
wants-
good. And I think, like going back to, because I learned from you, you had a checklist of things that needed to be right for the films to make the portfolio, and you were really strict on it. And I think it gets worse the longer you're in business because now I'm so particular with my portfolio that I can go 2 years without making a film good enough to knock off the ones that are on there.
Yeah.
And it's got to tick and I almost get so stuck in my head about it that now on Instagram I'll go to post something and I'm like, no, it's not quite good enough. And even though it is, and it's fine, and I know it'll get views, I'm just like, no, it doesn't.
But then you end
It's
up
the one
never,
thing.
you end up never posting.
But then you end up never posting, and that's suicide in today's world.
Yeah.
It's important. It's important.
It's
Isn't it?
getting your head around.
Yeah.
Like how old are you now?
33.
So it's like it's like what are kids doing? What's
Yeah. I'm past that generation
like,
now.
Do you know what I mean? I work
what are
with
they
a
doing?
Content creator. It's like at the weekend, same age as my daughters, and I was like,
Fuck yeah.
this is just trying to get my head around it. Not how old she was, but just being like, you're just walking around with a mobile phone.
yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out the
just
purpose
bizarre.
of it because I was like, because I also said, what's your turnaround as well? I think she was like, I'm about like 3 weeks now. I was thinking, I think content creation is supposed to be like the
Like
day
the next
after.
day, yeah.
It's like, because I'll have the actual, like, my film with them in 3 weeks easily. So I was like, so what's the point of this? And I just think it's the same with a lot of things. Couples are booking stuff because they go, I've been told I should have that.
Yeah.
We did content creation for a job last year. The bride was like, I need content creation as well. And I was thinking, why have you, especially afterwards, because I was like, you could have just, I'd rather just the girl that we got doing content. I was like, you should have just taken one of my cameras. It would look so much better
Yeah.
than just the mobile phone.
Yeah.
Do you not think
Mobile
that
phone
maybe it's just always been that way? Like couples are just going, oh, well, our friends had it. And we read online that that's what you have.
Yeah.
And so we did the same without fully knowing
what it
what
is.
they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just that the information comes at them so
Yeah.
much more now.
I think if you want to just put something on TikTok or Instagram that is like, oh, look, this is just some random mobile footage of the wedding, then that's good because it just looks looks kind of normal. But if you wait in weeks and weeks and weeks,
I think content creators are going to eventually morph into actual proper filmmakers. I think.
Yeah, it'll just become a whole
Yeah.
solution, photo, video, content,
Yeah.
one package.
so what happens
one
as well,
banner.
I think this has only just entered my brain, is that there's a thing where you can start off as like a videographer or whatever, and then you always get to that point where you think the grass is greener, don't you? So people are like, oh, what should I start doing now? I'll start doing photography. This is mainly a photography thing. So every photographer
Start doing
now
video.
wants to do a bit of video, and it's because I think they're all around that age of like, or that time frame of doing it for like 6-7 years or whatever, and going, I'm a bit bored of this. What can I do to just make things a bit more exciting or whatever? So they're like, I'll do video. And obviously they can earn more money from it. But that blows my mind as well, because I kind of go, right, say you're going out earning X amount as a wedding photographer, and you can have that done and edited in realistically a day or two, max. It's photos in it. And then you're like, oh, but what you're now doing is you're taking
double your workload.
You're taking on a film that's taking you 4 times the amount of time to edit, and you're not getting paid the same amount of money again. You're doing it as like an extra. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, say they get, this is figures, but like, say they're like, oh, say they get paid £1,000 for wedding photos. They go, oh, we'll do your video as well for 500 quid. And it's like, but the video's got like 10 times more work involved.
Yeah, of course,
and it's like, it's all a bit nuts. But yeah, I feel like I'm just in that position of trying to figure out what is it? What's next?
The next move?
Yeah,
I kind of knew during COVID and didn't act on anything. Like, you know, I remember speaking to like pestering Craig on the phone and being like, right, I know how it's going to be from now on. It's going to be like just rough and ready, really authentic. And I always use the example, like too many times to be honest, but during COVID we started doing interviews on Sky News and things on Zoom, right? So everything just got like rough and ready, and
it became more accepted.
So COVID went away, but we never stopped doing that. If there's an interview on Sky News now, it's with someone who's still
everyone
on,
got comfortable
Zoom.
with Zoom and went, oh, we can just do this at home, great. I don't even need a professional looking backdrop or lighting. I can just Graham Norton was transmitting his show from like he was just, and I remember him being on a Zoom and he was just sat and he was like, I've just sat on my whole floor with the radiator behind me and just a plain wall because that's where the best Wi-Fi spot in the house is. And nobody batted an eyelid at the quality of his production. And all of a sudden everyone went, oh yeah, you can do that. It's fine. And everyone just kind of went, yeah, okay.
But it's
just
kind of
switched, isn't it?
It's filtering through. Which is why the whole kind of there's like this whole camcorder phase now, and
you know about the camcorder phase, Adam?
Yeah, I got one. I've got one. I've jumped on that train. But do you know, I quite like it. There's a real like, everyone's got a real sort of urge for nostalgia.
Yeah.
Just trying. I don't know if it's a subconscious because we're going so far this way with content being thrown at you 100 mile an hour, AI, everything's becoming more and more automated. People are just going to crave that. Real.
I do think
nostalgic.
there's something in a blend. Like a mix of the two,
for sure.
If it's
used in the right way, this is like from a video point of view. I like to see the ones where they've edited it well and it's been balanced. And, you know, they brought in a bit of camcorder footage in a clever way, and then it's gone into the.
I think the camcorder stuff has got to be really rough and ready, and then jump over to like a really high quality professional, like kind of cinematic product. If you've got a crap video anyway, so if you've got like the actual video cameras but they're not used well, or the lighting's still a bit crap and the filmed a bit shaky and everything else, when you then cut to the camcorder stuff, which isn't too far off that, it's not a decent like
it doesn't contrast enough.
You've got to have a really big contrast between the two.
But someone's picked that up and gone, oh, this is new, this is different, no one's doing this, I'll do this, and then all of a sudden everyone jumps on that bandwagon and it's not cool anymore.
But it's the same with everything.
And I keep seeing videographers now going, I've bought don't worry everyone, I've got a handheld, I know everyone's been wanting to see it, and like it's almost like audiences see someone put a reel on it and it's new, but it's seeping through to brides where they're like, oh, that's cool. And then my couples are going, have you got a camcorder? Because they know about it before I do.
It's the new drone,
so this is TikTok. So I had a couple yesterday come for the final meeting, the Wednesday in a few weeks, and she said, oh, we've got an idea. About halfway through the meeting, and I was like, have you been on TikTok? She went, yeah. And I was like, go on, hit me with it. What is it? What is it? And
Howard doesn't invite ideas.
We've got this really cool idea we've seen, and we've put in captain's armbands on the tables for everybody, for each table. And I've just done I've done 4 weddings so far, and I think 2 of them have had the captain armbands. I went, oh yeah, they had one at my wedding, did last week. I won the one the week before. She went, not sure if I want it now. But again, it's just on TikTok, throwing these ideas at you all the time. And to be honest, I liked it. It was good. Where's my captain's art? And it kind of helped me act a little bit. It was good.
It's good fun, and also, but like with most things, I think now, if you're going to do it, and it's something that relates to you and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
enjoy it, then great. If
Yeah.
that can add to your wedding day, but if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, then
Without
like,
knowing why you're doing
which
it.
a lot of
Yeah.
people
Oh, yeah.
people do. I wanted to just bring it back a little bit into the educational side of things, 'cause I think a lot of people will get a lot from this, because we touched on it before. You talked about your checklist for your portfolio, for the sort of videos that you actually put out. What is that checklist? What has to meet the criteria? Can you give me a list? How long's your list? Is this something you got from being on the course? Then,
yeah, I remember
Philip?
it. You remember you teaching this, yeah?
Yeah.
There's a definitive list.
I could probably tell you most of it.
Alienate like most of like society. No, it's
Yeah, I know. Well,
you.
but-
Are you still as strict on this, or are you coming back round? And...
Yeah. I mean, because I don't do too many films now, but I think if I'll get films now, but they're usually part of a photography, video kind of joint package.
Yeah.
It's quite rare that I'm just doing like video on its own. But I think I'll still.
you still tick them
I'll
off.
still be. Yeah, and it's not like physically like just being like, oh, I've got. It's just a.
So no random order then. Number one.
It's the couple in it. It's kind of it's looks.
Number
right?
one's the couple. Yeah.
Do you know what? Actually, maybe it's their accents is the
I'll help you out a little bit.
the biggest.
If you're worried about being controversial, I think it's, for me, it's not, it's when you say the look, it's their whole vibe, their personalities, how confident they are, how much fun they're having. Like, it's not like sort of aesthetically like good looking.
Yeah.
It's the, if they're just proper into it,
Yeah.
and then the guests are really into it, and it's not just like, you know. I think if a couple aren't into the portraits, for me, then I won't force them into doing that. But then without those bits in the film, it doesn't look as epic.
Yeah.
And
So the couple number one, they've got to be.
It's couple
They've got to look.
location.
They've got to look right. They've got to have a good vibe
They've got to
about
have the
them.
right suit and dress and outfits and
Yeah.
personalities and looks. And you know, there's like, you know, some people, maybe it's just personal, but I'll be like, I'm not sure that dress or that outfit works for you. And it's things like that.
The whole kind of, because video has narrative, and I was always like, I kind of, the first few I made these like films around like the Northwest, and it'd be like hit and miss about whether you would often get couples from like the South who'd come up, or they had a connection to the North or whatever. And I was like, your films feel so much more exotic and elegant because you're well spoken.
the accent.
And it's the accent.
Yeah.
And it's, what that does is, and it's the same for absolutely everything, if you only post films where people have Manchester accents, Scouse accents, Birmingham accents, whatever, right? They're the places that you will work, because people see themselves and hear themselves in your films.
Yeah.
It's the same with photography. They'll look at it and go, and I'm quite critical on that now. It can be bad makeup, right? Or cheap makeup on girls. And it's like, I know that I've got a lot of potential clients who are picking up on that subconsciously, who would look at a set of photos and go, yeah, I wouldn't have, my bridesmaids aren't going to look like that.
Yeah.
Or that's a higher suit, And,
Yeah.
and the people with
at,
money know the difference between, it's like one of the other examples is kind of going, you would rock up at a wedding at whatever hall, house or whatever it is, and
Did you say whorehouse then?
a whorehouse.
Hall or house.
You said whorehouse subconsciously. Get slept in, didn't it?
I made a really good joke the other day about my wife bought a hose pipe. And I waited for the moment about like, anyway.
She's a hole.
I was like, it's like, we got holes. No, you can, if you go to, right, so say we were starting off, and lots of people do this now, Northwest, right? You go and shoot the wedding. That bride has bought a pair of whatever shoes it is, right? The Boutons, whatever. But they are a big, big fucking deal to her, because she's either saved up or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And photographers and video guys kind of jump into it, and they're like, "Oh my god, look! They've got the red soles, or they've got a Jimmy Choo logo." So they're like, "Bang!" And they'll open the film with a Jimmy Choo logo. Kind of the people who were clothes like that on a regular basis, it's
doesn't-
their clothes.
Yeah.
They're just nice clothes. It's not, you won't be like, look at this, look how good this is.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's not doing that. It's knowing that you can shoot a load of people, and those subtle things like how good the hair is, how good the makeup is, the cut of the suit, what watch they're wearing, all that kind of stuff. People see it and just kind of like pick up on it. And they don't need to speak about it,
Yeah.
but they know about it.
They're not going to feel.
You don't need to
reflected in those
over-exaggerate it,
films.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's not our world, so it kind of disengages them a little bit.
Yeah.
I suppose, for anyone trying to move into a specific market, find your target audience. And let's be honest, most of us are just trying to go up in the price brackets, aren't we?
I think,
And it's that kind of luxury market in inverted commas that will. Was there something about beer? Was it you that said about?
yeah, it's the bottles of beer.
So seeing bottles of beer in films and photography would put off certain clientele. Like beer's cheap, and like it should be champagne, and
Yeah.
and then,
God,
was it
so many
couples?
things to think of.
Because
I think it was both.
planners.
Yeah, it was
Planners
both,
were
but
like,
there was a
I
planner
don't want to see that.
Yeah, there was a planner who said it to me. When she said it to me, I was like, oh yeah, I get that.
And it's because of like, my relationship and my lifestyle and how I am and my relationship with money and stuff. I wouldn't think twice about putting beers in a film because that's I'm used to that. Yeah. But you've got to, if you're trying to get into a different market, you've got to think about it.
So I think the lesson is like your checklist is for the work that you want to get, really, isn't it?
And for any of us now,
and put out-
even you or a florist or a DJ, if you're trying to attract certain clients, you need to be careful about what you're putting on social media.
Yeah, and it's funny, the couple that came last night I had a chat with, when they came in, and I'd met them prior before, but I just knew them, they are my couple.
Yeah.
And and so because of what I've done in the past, they've come to me and it's like, yes.
Yeah.
And most of them are, to be honest, but some are perhaps not 100% my couple, still have a great wedding, great time. But they sat down last night, I was like, you are just me.
Yeah.
You want fun on the day, you want this, it's going to be a good vibe. There was such good fun. So it's tailoring your marketing to get that right.
But you end up with
sort of coming back
couples
to
and the client calls and everything else where you go, oh my God, you are... Like, I've had so many occasions over the last few days where I've said that to them. I've been at the wedding, I've been like, listen, guys, you
Dream.
you are, like, there's something, you would...
I love it when
know.
you get that connection. It's brilliant.
You just, but then equally, flip side to that is when they're not, and I'll have that every so often for different reasons. So I'll rock up at the wedding and I'll go, these are not my couple, and what that does is that then plants doubt in what you're going to do for your edits, because you go, you're not going to like what I'm doing here, but then you go, so why have I ended up shooting a wedding for you? And what happens is it's because a parent has booked, or someone's just gone, oh, this guy's good, I've heard this guy's good.
Yeah.
He does video, right, book it. Not thought about anything. They don't look at style, they don't look at anything that goes along with it. And so there's a few kind of reasons why that happens, but that's bad. When you do it and you think, oh, there could be trouble here. Are we the right fit? Are you...
There might be come back afterwards and
Come back
you
after
start
because they go,
panicking
why
about
is...
all of that, don't you?
Yeah, why have you done
Do
this?
you not think that this is an argument for just always having a connect, like always advocating like Zoom calls, meetings, whatever, connecting with people?
But that's what I do. I don't,
because that's what we've always done. And
I want to make sure they are
there's been
as close to my
conversations,
couple as possible. Yeah.
recently with today's sort of target audience of like transparency and being upfront, and couples just want prices now. They don't want to wait. They don't want to get taken down a path to get to the price. They just want it immediacy. But then that invites that kind of problem.
Just on that,
because they will just book you without hearing anything, and then you've still got to manage their expectations.
Just while you mention that, we have our like little, I told you about it before, we have a couple of like photography meetups every year, and one of them we just get like this big Airbnb for a couple of days, and there's about 15 of us, and there's always a section, like a 3-4 hour section, where everyone just chats and goes, what we doing, blah blah blah. And the biggest takeaway from that whole kind of event was that couples in this day and age, couples have admin night, so they both go to work And I'd never thought of this before. So they have admin night, right? They're at work all week, and it might be Tuesday, it might be Thursday, whatever, but they come home from work, and it's the one night of the week where she said to him or whatever,
We need to do
it's
wedding
admin
stuff
night.
tonight.
So they get a wine, they sit down and they do it all. So if they're then filling in the form and going, oh, I've got to wait 3 days or 2 days for him to come back to me, they want answers, right? They want everything immediately. Because that's, you can order food and I could have a roast dinner delivered to me in 10 minutes. You know, it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
But, so I was like, I've got it now. This is it. So I just put the prices on the website. I didn't get a sniff for a month. For like literally the whole month. I was like, I don't know whether something's gone wrong, but this hasn't worked. This hasn't worked. So I just changed it up.
So
Gone back to normal.
I have
But
this
then
conversation quite a lot with people about price on websites and stuff, and I think you can miss an opportunity to actually get a booking from somebody when you've actually chatted to them, and if their inquiry leads to a bit of a chat, even before they know your pricing.
Yeah.
Once they've chatted to you and they realise how great you are, and I wouldn't want anybody else, you might get some of those bookings. But if the price is that immediate turn off, you've not got a chance to convert any of those inquiries. So that's how I've always done it.
Yeah.
Never put price on my website. Because people just don't know. I had some guy the other week thought I was going to be 10 grand, and it's like, no, not 10 grand. So everybody's got different ideas. You know what I mean? So
You were 20.
Yeah, but do you not think that maybe they think you're 10 grand because there's no price there? They just don't even bother inquiring because they just assume maybe it's 10 grand.
Well, I'd say one person might think that, somebody else might think I'm a grand. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like to keep a bit of mystique around it, so then they've got to come and
There's
talk
no
to
right
me.
or
So
wrong to this. That's the thing.
There's no right or
It's
wrong.
going to be, for some people it'll be good, for some people it'll be bad, and you're potentially losing out on couples
It
because your
depends where
prices
you
aren't on
are,
there.
and
But also you're potentially losing out on couples because your prices are on there.
Yeah, I know.
there's no
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
So just bringing it back, we were talking about the checklist, weren't we? Of what? Yeah.
is
So
that where we're up to?
It's kind of it's directing. So it's directing your work, putting the best work out there, so you're going to attract that ideal client. So it's not necessarily. It depends what you want to get.
On
isn't
that
it, really?
point, can you tell us the Paris story? Because this was something that
I want to know, what is the
It's not a
Paris
specific
story?
story, but I think it's a good example of
it just leans into
how
that.
you get those recognizing opportunities, and what we were talking about then in the kitchen about things where you can, if you see an opportunity and you know you can get something from it, then it's fine to drop your price or offer this other thing. It's just literally what everybody's doing.
But
at the
this is,
moment.
I think, this is good to talk about, because although everyone does it, nobody talks about it. Nobody's open about it. We were talking off air about everyone says they charge so much per wedding and go out for £10,000 a wedding, and everyone else looks at them and goes, "Oh my god, they charge fortunes. They're amazing."
dangerous,
Reality
though.
is it probably isn't the case. And certainly nowadays, when there's more suppliers, less weddings, less budgets for the mid market, I guess everyone's scrambling over it and offering a bit more, but nobody talks about it. Everyone's just maintains that they're, "Oh yeah, I'm fully booked and sorry everyone, I've had 12 inquiries come in just in the last hour. I will get back to you, I promise." And it's like, come on, you haven't.
Giving it away, Adam. Giving it away.
I just have a real bugs me, because it's dangerous kind of mentality for anyone, and certainly for yourself. And we found this when you put yourself out there as an educator. You've got a responsibility to kind of tell. You've just got a responsibility
You've got to be transparent, haven't
to
you?
help people, because people come in new to the industry and just go, "Okay, that's where I need to get to. I need to get to that high end, and that's." Those guys are the best, and they're charging this much, and that I need to, and everyone just says, "Yeah, put your price up." I'm going off topic.
No.
What I wanted to say is your Paris thing is that you did recognise an opportunity because you knew it would get something for you.
Yeah.
And most people would just go, "No, I'm not getting out of bed for less than my fee."
But take the floor with the Paris story.
No. It was just, years ago, and I think I just recognised that they were really good looking couple, like a model couple, but just they wanted photo and video, and I think they didn't have like a budget. It wasn't it wasn't expensive, an expensive wedding. They just got married at the town hall, you know,
Paris.
like in Paris.
In Paris,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's like just going to the register.
Yeah,
office.
yeah,
It's
of
like
course, yeah.
that kind of thing. And then I think they went to a community centre. Like they went to like literally like a village hall thing afterwards. None of that obviously made the cut for what we were speaking about before. But I remember having a conversation with the bride, and she was saying that she couldn't. She was like, I don't think we can afford the video because we've got to pay this Parisian photographer. And at the time, she was like, and they cost a fortune. And
Yeah, so they were inquiring with you about video.
yeah. And I was like, well, I'll take your pictures as well. So I asked her about the day, and I was just like, I want this. I want this opportunity to make this film. So how do I get this job? And no one was doing hybrid or anything like that at the time. And it was like, right, it's going to be a challenge, but I will, if we have time, we have the entire day, then I can do both. I can give you photos and I can give you video. So in essence, I kind of volunteered the photos and just structured the day around kind of how I'd do both. But you can attribute that to anything. It's about seeing that and going, right, I've got them. They liked my idea of doing like the interviews at the time. It was just, how do you get the most from this? How do you get the most from this opportunity, and making something from it that was just a little bit different? And I think it was different because of the interviews.
Did you think that's a portfolio piece?
Yeah.
I've seen
like,
it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I know. I'm
It's-
pretty sure I've seen the one that you're
And
talking
it's so dated now, and it's fine. But then you think, well,
But
yeah,
you
probably
went,
wasn't
you went
anything.
out on that film for years, probably. It was
Yeah,
in front of
yeah,
your website, and everyone knew about it.
Yeah.
And then didn't it? I remember when I did your workshop, there was like 4 or 5 of your portfolio films, all led from that first
Yeah.
Paris job.
Yeah.
And it was less like taking that one opportunity. And I see this in my own weddings. You do one, and then it leads to another, and then it leads to another, and then it leads to another. And you're
But
not
you
always
can-
going to get that right in
I think
guessing
it's
which
good
one.
to know where they are, especially now when you think we just got, should I post on Instagram to get work or whatever? And you're like, no, it's all these other. There's a million other factors that can all contribute to how you get work in the future. I think I say things on the courses and need to like actually do them myself. You know what I mean? But it's like, I think like the bottom line is like, you've got to be everywhere. I think
Yeah.
I said like everything everywhere
Yeah,
all at once.
multiple touch
Just being
points,
like,
yeah.
I do this. Like, I'll post something on Instagram and then be like, yeah, why not post that same image on your Google business? It's just an extra step that no one thinks of. They
Yeah,
think about
yeah,
posting it on Instagram, more valuable, and you'll get more traction posting images on your Google profile again and again and again and again. And if you're doing it to one, you can do it to the other. But it's seeing those opportunities, kind of moving with it. But you're right. I remember doing the Paris one and thinking, right, and this is when you could SEO stuff and it would work within a couple of weeks. And I was like, right, do I go for the wedding film in Paris, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Paris wedding videographer.
Yeah, and am I going to get that? Is it realistic that I'm going to start getting weekly work in Paris? It's like, no. So I went for the hotel that they got ready in. None of the other wedding was there. It was just the hotel that they got ready in. And I think the couple jumped into the swimming pool the day before. So there was a connection to the hotel. But it was a famous kind of swimming pool. It was a famous swimming pool, and I think it was called the Molitor, Piscine Molitor in Paris. And I remember getting an inquiry for like a guy in LA, and he directed the Life of Pi. No, it didn't direct Life of Pi. He was a color grader on the film The Life of Pi. And he was like, I found you because Pi in The Life of Pi was named after this swimming pool, some connection. And he was like, I was just Googling stuff to do with the film, and you came up. And I was like, shit. So and there's a chain. He got married in London. He was a guy, colorist in LA. Came over from LA, got married in London. And I remember that one, basic wedding at a town hall. I don't even think that made the cut on any portfolio. But then I remember I optimized that as like from LA to London.
So is this when you're doing blog posts
At the
that
time,
are attached
yeah.
to your website?
So at the time,
so that's how you got found. Okay.
But at the time, I'd made a decision. I was like, I'll put LA in the title. And then I got a job in LA. And I was like, man, I'm going shooting a wedding in Los Angeles just because I put that name in the title. Now, I think it's impossible now.
Yeah,
I think it's impossible to get.
Obviously, that's
different.
It's not like that anymore in terms of SEO, but AI optimization is going to become a thing. That's coming forward, where like couples are now searching
They're just
AI
asking,
chatbots.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting married, and it's not just like best videographers in my area, like Google search. It's
can you show me some
ChatGPT? I'm getting married next year in the Northwest. Who are the best? And and it's coming up with more nuanced responses, but. There's a bit like SEO was at the time.
Yeah.
You can do certain things to make you more likely to appear to Gemini, ChatGPT, etc.
I think the only thing I think with that is because it's accessible to everyone. There's more people doing it, just more people shooting video, photos, whatever. But then the technology is so much more accessible to do that kind of thing. So what we were talking about then is you'd literally have to sit down and go and think of something to write.
Yeah.
You'd have to sit and write content for the day. Whereas now, you could just say, right, Claude, ChatGPT, whatever, just write me a blog post about this, and they'll do it. So they're like, and if you've got a wedding venue that has got, 50 weddings a year, and say 30 of those weddings a year, you've got someone actually getting AI to just write a post to get. I think for that traditional SEO thing to work, you've got to have the history. That post has got to have been around. It's got to have views. It's got to have traction. But I think
posting to your Google profile is interesting. So I think I've just picked up on that recently.
That's how I get most
where
of my
they'll put an image. They'll do a post on the Google profile, and they'll do you tag them, and do you at it, or do you hashtag it? Or?
No, so it's really clever now. It's really clever in the sense that. It's the same with reviews. So you've got your Google business profile, which it's had different names over the last 10 years. It's like Google My Business. Like now it's just in Maps. Now it's based within Google Maps. I can't even think of what it's actually called now, but it's your Google business profile. Not the registering, not like traditional SEO where you'd be like third, sixth, whatever. It's your results that appear in Maps. But when you search for something, if you are still using Google, they're pretty much at the top. You get your sponsored results, and then you get a map. And on that map, you get, and they call it like the Holy Trinity. So if you were to type in wedding photographer or wedding singer now or whatever here, you would get those top 3 results from this area.
From this,
because it doesn't. It's not a thing anymore
based.
that you have to be like wedding photographer Manchester or Liverpool or whatever. Because funnily enough, it knows where you are in the world. It knows where people are searching from. So it brings that kind of holy trinity, those results. I made the mistake, possibly, of trying to do that in central London. So I've tried to break into that top 3 in central London, which is virtually impossible. You've got the biggest factor is your reviews. So it's like get review after review after review. You need like hundreds and hundreds of like positive 5-star reviews. But what it wants is within those reviews and within your replies to the reviews and your updates, it needs the right words. So you flip it back to being like, right, if you had a pizza shop around the corner or a kebab shop around the corner, I'm here and I'm going, right, I just type kebab in. I'm like, right, kebab, and it'll come up and it will show me that, and they may not be the best ones, but they're the ones with the most reviews.
Right. Yeah.
But it's also the ones where someone will have gone, the best kebab in town. And then the reply from that business has gone, oh, thanks for saying we had the best kebab in town. So the SEO kind of seeps into that. It knows what's being said, and it works, but it only works if you kind of work your way up that list. Cool. It's a good little. I
like that you used the kebab analogy. It helps me understand it better.
Could have used anything, but and that was strictly for you, that Adam.
Yeah. But it is. You're not going to be in Manchester city centre and go kebab Manchester. It's like you're just going to put kebab, but the results.
This is cool. I didn't know about this. Then.
Well, somebody said that. So, for instance, that you sent me the little clip over Wellington Hall. I can put that as a post on my Google profile, and I can put, here I am at Wennington Hall in Lancaster.
If
Yeah, it's
you're
updates.
going to
Yeah.
do that, please, can you let me edit it? Because I sent him a raw clip that like has 3 different angles within the same clip, and I'm moving around loads,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
ungraded, and
Yeah, but
he
I
just
like
posted it straight to Instagram.
I like, but I like the
and then-
realness of it.
and he tagged me in it, and I was like, no, that looks shit.
I like the realness of it though.
Okay, I untagged myself though.
Well, there was no way that I could straighten it and then chop it and straighten it because it would have just fucked the clip up.
No, there was, because you can edit it. You can
You
cut,
just sent it me like
cut the
that.
clip. I know. I sent you the raw clip. You could like trim it. You can edit it. You can break it down into multiple clips.
I liked it though. I kept it that way purposely because I actually quite liked the rawness of
Got a
it.
lot to talk about.
But yeah, that's just updates.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Like
I
updates
bet
to
not
Google
many
profile.
people know about that.
That's my.
So instead of posting just to Instagram, we should do the same post pretty much on your Google.
Yeah.
On your
There's
Google
no way
profile.
this is making it into the episode because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to keep this to myself. Everyone will
But
jump
with
on it.
photos, I've got into the routine now.
Not because it's rubbish. It's good advice.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want anyone to know
But
about
it's
this.
the names of the photos. So if you're posting that photo onto there,
Like the alt
also
tab-
knows the
alt-
names.
alt
You've
description
got
or
your alt
whatever.
description. You've got the caption, but you also got the name of the image. So if you're pulling it off your phone and it's image 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah, you need
Yeah,
to
just
rename it.
rename it, yeah.
rename it.
I've been doing that for years with YouTube.
Do
Rename
for
it
the-
for yourself or rename it for the venue it's at, maybe.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you'll extract those.
Yeah.
Okay.
With YouTube SEO, it was you name the video that you
Yeah.
upload with the
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
SEO title that you're trying to
And the
read.
meta location as well. I always do that because I also, I'm always just like pulling photos out of old portfolios and different things. But then when you swipe up on your phone, there's never a location on. So you can always like make sure the location where the photograph was taken and the date. I've started doing the date as well. And I don't know why, whether it has impacts, but I think it's more if you're taking a picture of the kebab, right? Which people are.
It's recent,
It's recent and it's local.
relevant. Yeah.
So it's that kind of. But again, I'm finding it's working, but it's working for my bread and butter. We said before
Local
about
ones.
a very complex kind of pricing structure where you can get very high end jobs, but also regular. I want to go to Town Hall in London, and I want to get on the train in the morning. I want to go to that Town Hall for 3 hours, have a little walk around, do a shoot, jump back on the train, edit the pictures, and then I'm done. So in that day, I'm done. Now I've not earned mega bucks for that wedding, but I'm done and dusted in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And you do so many of them a year. It's
And
a
you do
numbers
so many
game,
of
isn't
them a
it? Yeah.
But I'm not going to get that at the Town Hall round the corner from where I live. I'm going to get that from town halls in London because they're all seen as like pretty cool as well. And it's like, Paul McCartney's been married here 3 times, and did you see who was here? So it's like,
Yeah.
they have a different kind of the town halls there, the register offices there, kind of have a
different vibe.
vibe.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah.
Compared to the
charge
Fleetwood Town
you can
Hall,
charge
yeah.
a certain amount.
But it's that, but then it's just making sure that you haven't closed any doors off for bigger weddings, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're quite flexible with your prices, then, aren't you? I'm guessing based on that, because a lot of people are just like, oh no, that's another topic where it's like you charge the same to everybody, but the wedding's completely different.
I've kind of got it where it's for them. I never had like a micro package, and for the last few years I've had like a 3-4 hour like micro package, which is basically like half the price of like a regular day. But people always want that. And so it gives you that option to then say, if you want something, if you want a job, then you can go, I'll shoot that I'll give you the core package for the same price as the micro package. It's just you've still got to be worth it. It's still got to be worth it shooting for that amount of money. Do you know what I mean? It's still got to be worth doing the micro package.
Yeah, but
for the
because
same
you've
price.
made it clear, you've shown them that there is a smaller package and they don't want it, you can use that as a kind of like,
So
well,
it's
tell you what, I'll
it's
do
a
you a
whole
deal.
kind of balance.
Yeah, and
But
then they
the
think they're
additions
saving loads.
It might not be that you necessarily charge a lot of money for like a core like 10-hour video package, but it's the additions to that, I think. And I think that's what works with destination weddings, because they'll go, oh, we're having a brunch the day after, we're having a welcome dinner.
Yeah.
Can we bring a second shooter? Can we have? Can
Yeah.
you do content creation? Can you?
Oh,
do
the
this?
amount of times destinations are great for this, like you say. The amount of times I've just gone, well, tell you what, I'll just shoot the pizza night before. I just like
Yeah.
I'll include that.
Yeah.
because it's just an extra
But
little.
you're using it as like I always think as I never used to have that a
That'll
lot of
help
value
you.
on that. And what I found was that if you put a price on it, what you can then say is you're then saying, listen, I'm not just rocking up because I'm here anyway. You're going, I'm giving you this thing that you can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
is worth
Have a visible
£1,500 or whatever. Like,
price on it, so
Yeah.
they know it costs money.
Yeah.
And then you go,
I'll give you that.
I'll just do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, ah, that's nice. And then just to help you get that gig if it's one that you want.
But it's how we are today. It's society we're living in. But I get so much more success by offering that something extra.
Yeah.
It's like doubling your price just to give it. You can double your price just to give everyone a special deal but the special deal is like,
Yeah.
you know.
It's about a lot of it. It's
psychology,
about
isn't
not
it?
leaving money on the table as well. So it's like being flexible enough to come in and say, look, I'll do that as a bit of a deal for you.
Yeah.
We can maybe add this in as well. But then you've still got the opportunity to kind of upsell at other times as well, haven't you? Once somebody's bought from you, and they might have bought your lowest package, you've still got an opportunity then to upsell them with something else.
Yeah.
Because once somebody's bought from you, they're more likely to buy from you again for something, aren't they?
It's the people kind of look for the luxury of being like, I want to tap into a luxury market and only do that. Yeah, that's impossible. You know, you're not going to just get the inquiries from people who are willing to spend a
Also,
fortune.
I'm going back to this because I was saying before, everyone thinks that you're supposed to go for that luxury market, but then reality is you start striving to get there, and you suddenly hit a point where you're like, I don't know if I want to do this. These aren't my couples, and these aren't. It's not. In fact, it's probably not for most people.
No.
It's
But,
not for everyone.
but everybody thinks it is.
Yeah, everyone thinks that's the destination, that you've got to get there, and you've got to
Yeah.
charge thousands and thousands and be in with planners and do the kind
If
of
you've got
1% of weddings.
Yeah.
But the reality is that it's really hard because it's a small pool, but also like I wouldn't want to do it because I like my couples at the weddings that I do, and it's a different type of person.
But they're going from most people who are doing that are going from like they've got like 30 weddings booked in a year at a decent price,
Yeah.
or a normal kind of
And you
price,
suddenly try and double it.
and they're like, oh, I've got to, because they do the thing that I said was dangerous. They'll listen to somebody else and go, he's charging twice me, I can charge that. But the truth is, he's not. You know?
Yeah.
Like I said, I've shot weddings in the last few years, and you go, God, the stupid money. It's like absolutely ridiculous. But then you break it down, and you're like, yeah, you come away from it with a lot of money, but it's either a 3 or 4 day wedding, and you're also making money off video, photo, content, portraits, this thing. You know, there's a whole load of other stuff involved. in that, but you're not getting those paydays like every single week. So you have to have a way to have bread and butter jobs or kind of smaller things or whatever. But if you've got 30 weddings a year, whatever it is, right, £1,500, you're in a really good. You've got regular work coming in.
It's great. Yeah.
You've got regular bookings coming in. Don't try and see this thing. It doesn't make you any better or whatever.
Yeah, it's good. It's good advice, that, isn't it? Because some people think, and they might put the price at, right, I'm ready now, I'm going to go to $5,000. And it's like, well,
yeah, but then you do that, and all your work dries up.
Oh, your work
There's
dries
no
up.
other-
Yeah, and we know the more you work, the more inquiries that creates as well. You know,
And also, going back to the education stuff, I remember someone asking me a while ago if they should quit their job. Like, I've got to this point now, I'm doing this many weddings, I'm still working full time, it's killing me doing both. Do you think now is a good time to quit my job? And I really struggled. I was like, no, we're going to have a phone call here because I need to learn more. I don't know. I don't know what your life
you
is.
need to know their position.
Imagine if I said, yeah, if you're fine, mate, just put your price up, quit your job, you'll be right. Which is very easy for me to say. But if he's the main breadwinner and he's got a mortgage and he's got kids and all of a sudden it doesn't work out and then he can't afford to put a roof over his head, that's because I told him to. And yes, he should have maybe less naivety and take it with a pinch of salt. But when you put yourself out there, you must find this. People do take what you say as gospel.
But then, in kind of like in line with that, you don't know anyone's position. And so I've found recently, over the last few years, that there's a perfect blend. You see people who you know are charging an awful lot of money, but they're also doing stuff that's really creative. But then what I've found out is that they're minted as well. Like, they've got a partner, or they've got a family who's... And I keep hearing this more and more and more, where people are like, oh, that guy's a maverick, right? That guy's a maverick because he only shoots the most blurry pictures on the wonk with like... And then so you've got a million other people trying to copy that style. But like, that person can only take the chance and shoot that way because there's complete
They can
utter
afford to
safety,
take the risk.
because they can do it. But I've seen that so much you know, and that's why we go, do we play it safe? You know, do we play it safe with our work, or do we try and be a little bit more kind of creative with it? You can be as creative as you want if you've got the safety net. You've got money in the bank or a partner or whatever else to kind of fall back.
Yeah, and not just creativity within the video work, but like business risks and things like, oh, should I branch out into this, or should I offer that, or should I do this differently? I'm going to spend 6 months trying to work on my SEO. It's like, well, if you've got someone else bringing in the bacon, you don't need to worry about your work.
You'd get scared, wouldn't you, if it's all reliant on you and you want to test and do different things, but you'd be so scared of doing anything different in case your work dries up, and all of a sudden you've not got the money in that. You have.
Yeah, but you wouldn't turn around and go, right, I want to try doing photography now, so I'm just going to shift everything overnight and not do any singing gigs anymore. Like, there would be a period where you go, I can't afford to do that. I need to build it up. But if your partner was on 6 figures, you just do it tomorrow, because he's like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Why not?
Yeah,
I'm a little bit. I'm well, quite thankful. I'm quite lucky. I've got other things, which I've got houses and other businesses, and so it doesn't really apply to me as much. But
sensible to do that. Yeah. You've put you should have other eggs in pots.
Absolutely, yeah. I think certainly if you're in the wedding industry and you're the main one, it's like for me it was, if something happens to me, then the money stops. So then it was like, well, we need other things. So.
Yeah.
And it's quite easy, like, because especially if like you with the sort of weddings that you do, you have built up, whether you've consciously done it or not. You tell me, but you have got a bit of a celebrity status in like the UK, certainly the UK video wedding scene. Everyone thinks of you like, and I know your whole thing is just about like, we're not rock stars, we just shoot weddings. Yeah. But people build that persona up of you themselves.
What I like is that there's always, I don't know, whatever, you can see like this rock star photographer, right? And then you speak to someone else at a wedding, the different photographer at that wedding, you're like, oh, but do you know about such a person? They're like, never heard of them in my life. It's like, know that like whoever it is, whoever the biggest kind of like video person, you'll be like, but what about them? What about that thing that they did? And they're like, no, I have no idea. Yeah. But then they're still being influenced by them or using the kit or gear or techniques or presets or whatever. And you're like, it's such a...
Should never be complacent, should you? Because
it's a weird industry.
Go to your head count.
I've seen it so many times where people do get carried away with that. People are like, "Oh, and you're like, you actually think you're a rock star?
Yeah,
like you really do think.
Yeah, the reality is that, I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't think that any of us are multimillionaires. Like, you're not making fortunes out of this job, because there's only so many weddings that you as a one-man band can do, and only so much you can charge and things. But so reality is like, all the people that I've looked up over the years that maybe portray themselves as rock stars probably earning the same as me, just differently.
Yeah,
but they've got the authority, haven't they? I think that's one thing we always talked about. Become a bit of an expert with what you do. Become a type of celebrity within your world, and that's gonna help.
Your educational stuff has helped you build that in an industry reputation. Just
putting stuff out there every so often, and that's only financial. Like, I've done that financially
to make money.
Like, obviously. Mm-hmm. But then you think, I think the biggest eye opener was that it made me think, God, there is a lot of people doing this. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, if this amount of people have bought this course, there's so many. There's just
we're the same, aren't we? Yeah. We've just created 100 people in our area who are going to be competition.
Have you ever felt the effects of that? Of like, obviously, you look on Instagram now, and there's probably 10 to the dozen people that have doing type of videos that you can see is all kind of stemmed from your blueprint years ago.
Mm.
But then I do look at it now and go, well, there's no one invented kind of...
No, of course not, no.
But then, because you just think, oh, I'm just pointing a camera. Do you know? And I said to Jeff the other week about trying to change the style, and he was like, good luck with that. And I thought, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. And I did. I said before, I turned up with my monopod and tried to do something more similar to what I used to do. I was like, oh, this is hard. And then you just got straight back into like, it's like muscle memory.
Yeah,
I shot video of the wedding last weekend, and I was like, all the shooting stuff, all the angles and everything else, it's just second nature. It's kind of second nature, and you're looking for stuff. What got me, because I hadn't shot video for quite some time, was that I was like, the skill isn't necessarily in the shooting. The skill's about managing like all your gear and the time and everything and the Vickers and like, and it was the first time I'd worked in it was a church, right? And first time I'd shot in a church for years for video, like years and years and years. Church in central London as well. And I was like, the skill from this, for me doing this job, is knowing what bag I'm taking, how I can get out fast, at what point during the ceremony am I stopping, like, you know, when they kiss, even though there's an extra bit of the ceremony where the priest's going to say stuff, I'm like, I don't need that, I can pack up now. So how fast you can pack up 3 tripods, how you can go around and get, you know, when they've said, oh, the choir, you're not allowed to film the choir or record the choir in secret. I'm like, oh, well, I know where to hide the microphone. And like, you're just doing all of these little tiny things that you just completely don't think about.
Yeah, there's so much more to it, isn't there?
Yeah,
so much more to it.
Shooting feels like just the shooting, but...
Did you have a thing, Adam, with all like the last quick 5 questions?
Yeah, somewhere. You have what was I going to say?
I think we're...
You ever come unstuck where you've kind of thought, yeah, I am like the OG. I am the
Come
guy.
on. You can't ever be like that, can you?
I remember...
You ever got caught out?
No, I used to. I remember thinking... when I did the Tweer stuff, right, that was my focus in life. Like, the year building up to that...
In the wedding industry.
It wasn't the first year. Because the first year I was like, oh, I'll enter this as a thing. I've seen this like around. I'll enter it. It was the year after where I was like, got to do that again. Got to do that again.
Can't let anyone else take it.
Yeah, and I was like, that's my, you know, and then
yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I think I remember getting that trophy in that first year and being in like KFC or something on the night and thinking, I'm the best in the country at this thing. I've got this award. But then thinking, nobody gives a shit. Like, you're not walking around with an Oscar or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
you get
just
humbled, don't you? Like, sometimes I'll go to weddings and the guests are like, oh, that's nice. Do you do this? What's your real job? So, and some part of me is like, we were saying this before, I'm like, I'm good at this. I'm probably earning more than you are. And like, a little bit of me just gets really like defensive and just I'll show you my bank statement. Like,
that's so funny.
I'm the shit.
It is. I was with the photographer at the weekend, and because I didn't need to speak to anyone for the entire day. Literally, I was just kind of like in the background. She had assistants, and there was a content girl and everything else. And this guy came over to all of us, and he's like just asking the photographer for a business card. And I was like, "No, you're not asking for mine." I was like, "He's got no idea what I'm even doing."
Yeah.
There's there's moments where I think. There's a good moment at the fight where I was speaking to you guys at Tweer, right?
Yeah.
And we'd spent weeks doing the judging, right? And going through, watching all the films, watching all the photos, agonising over these decisions. I stood there and like all the guys in the final, I can't remember, I think it was the photographers. All the guys were there and they were all in a little huddle waiting for like whoever was going to win to be announced. And then the winner got announced and he walks over and he's just like, oh, excuse me, let me get past. And I like moved out the way so we could walk to the stage. And the first thing that came in my head, I was like, I fucking put you here. I gave you that. I gave you that award. You've no idea who I am.
Yeah.
But that's only based on the fact that he doesn't. They've no idea.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting them to actually to because I don't put my face out there. So if you don't put your face out there, how's anyone going to know that you're one of the judges?
Well, it's funny because Lucy, who won it on the region, she knew me. She knew I was one of the judges, and she was straight over when she saw me. But yeah, it's like the opposite of you. She was
It's good.
It was nice
to just be reminded who you are, though, every now and again. Isn't it? You don't.
Yeah, it's.
I've got one for you. So I worked with a photographer. It was a while ago now, but a photographer that I've known and worked with a few times over the years. And she was like, "Oh, I did a wedding a few weeks ago, and the videographer guy." And she was like, I always do this. I got chatting to him, and I always use you because I know you're a big deal. And this was her words, not mine. And she's like, so I said to him, have you heard of Adam Wing? And this guy, he turned around, he went, oh yeah, I know Adam, yeah. He came on my course years ago. I kind of trained him up. And she was taken aback. She was like, what do you mean you trained Adam? Adam's like the guy. And I was like, oh, what was his name? I knew full well.
Yeah,
He was like, Philip White. Anyway, so when he said that, I was like, I had to look him up. It turns out he's amazing. And she had no idea who you
Yeah,
were.
was it? I feel like I'm going to know who it was.
Sally Joanne, she's called.
Yeah, and I remember that.
She was like, I had no idea who you were. And she was like, you must have heard of Adam Wing, like using me as like a reference of like, I know Adam Wing. And then you were just like, just like, did came up through me.
That's phase.
That blew her mind.
I love that. Like, you can
he must be good.
Like if you're on a call with someone, and you can always go, "Who?" So they go, "We are speaking to a few other people." You always want to go, "Who?"
Yeah. Isn't it hard? Like sometimes you do want to say to couples, like trust me, I am the guy. I am great.
You can't, you can't though. It's like I know I can sit with a couple and say, "Look, I am going to absolutely smash your wedding. We're going to have to. I'm awesome at what I do. It's going to be amazing." But you can never say that.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you have to do the wedding, and then you let them say it.
Yeah,
I had someone once. She said, "Oh, we're not going to go with you. We've spoke to someone else, and we're going to go with them." And it was close call, but they told us that they'd done your course and that they did everything the same as you because they'd learned from your course. So we did one. I think it was a budget thing.
Yeah.
She was like, so we were like reassured that they were like one of your guys, but they were a bit cheaper, so we're going to go with them. And I was like,
"What have I done?"
Fucker. He's me to sell himself.
Yeah, you're like, "What have I done?"
Yeah.
What have I done?
Oh my god.
It's
Get to think how many times you've lost gigs to all the
minefield.
minions that you've created.
Can we go on the quick round, fans?
Yes. Yeah.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the quick fire round with Mr. Philip White, the goat of wedding films. Number 1, big wedding or small?
Oh, the big wedding. I love a small wedding, but no, I love a big wedding.
Number 4 on the list. Favourite part of a wedding day?
Oh, going home.
The most honest answer we've ever
Miserable
had.
bastard.
Going on. I've insulted people before. It's like, that's the biggest day of people's lives. I'm like, yeah, but there's not a single
skip
wedding
out
day
number
where
5.
I don't want to go and get a beer.
You don't want to go.
I don't want to.
I do want. I want.
Oh,
to
you do?
finish.
Yeah.
I want
You
to
just want to finish and have a beer.
Yeah. No, I'm like, I thought you were saying, because I get it a lot where they say, "Oh, you finished? Come and have a beer with us at the bar." And the guests, I'm like, "No, you're all right. I'm all right."
Most stressful part.
Most stressful moment of a wedding day?
Depends what I'm doing. It depends whether I'm doing.
Different answer for different
I
disciplines.
felt really anxious at my last wedding, and that was video, but it only kicked in like later on in the day, and I was like, what's this? And I was like, when you question it, you're like, why do I feel why have I got massive anxiety?
Yeah, worried
I was
about
coming towards the
something,
end of the day as well. I was like, this is a bit weird, but you get taken over, don't you, by the task at hand? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
So you just dismissed it and got on with it? Or do you know what it was that was...
no, I don't know.
Something must have triggered it, and that must be the most stressful part of the wedding.
I had
Do
a bad.
you know what, for me, it's like you think everything's going all right, and then the bride or groom or couple or guest will say something, and it'll just throw you off, like, oh, I can't wait to... I remember someone saying, like, oh, I can't wait to see the previews, like recently.
Yeah,
can't
and
wait
you're
to see
like,
the-"
what
and I was like,
previews?
I wasn't doing previews. What
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you on about? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit, and then you start spiraling of like, I wonder if they're expecting this or that, and I'm like, suddenly you start doubting yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know. It depends what I'm doing. But
So yours is that when something's going wrong and they think they're getting something that you've actually not got for them, and
No, the most stressful part of the day traditionally is like the speeches when you've got to set up and
Yeah.
blah, blah. But yeah, sometimes they'll say something where I'm like, especially if I've not had much prior communication with them, and they just have built an assumption about what's going to be in the video.
yeah.
Or after the day, they'll go, I can't wait to see that moment from thinking,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
thinking, shit, I didn't film that.
if you weren't a wedding videographer / wedding photographer, what role would you want to have at a wedding?
At a wedding.
What other role could you see yourself doing?
What would you be
No, I
doing
was gonna.
outside
I
of
don't
weddings?
know. I just wasn't expecting you to
Carpenter.
say the wedding.
No, in the wedding, what other...
I'll be in the band.
Being in a band, we always get that, don't we?
Be in the band.
Yeah.
We always get that from
Everyone wants to
video
do
photographers, either DJs
It's
or
because
in
we
the
see
band.
bands turn up, have a full free course meal, have a
Yeah.
few pints, and that before they've done anything.
Don't know what.
Not shit. No,
Come on!
no offense
Yeah.
to bands.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the band.
Last
That's the
question.
trend.
One trend you're ready to say goodbye to. or maybe not a trend, but one part of the wedding day, a trend as well, that you're ready to say goodbye to.
Get to fuck.
That's just not needed at a wedding. Why did they still do that? Or
I usually say though. No, I
Like
usually
singers.
kind of be like, yeah, like. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Would you tell them beforehand?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, we're
Who's
thinking
it?
of doing this. Don't bother.
I'd be like, I don't need to get that. You know, I don't need to come along and. Yeah, in terms of video or anything, you see a lot of like golden. You know, everyone thinks
Golden hour.
golden hour. I've got to
Yeah.
go and do my golden hour. I've got to do this shot, and you're like,
I'm with you actually,
Why?
because that's you'd think that would be gold dust. Pardon the pun, and it can look great, but are you dragging them out off the dance floor because they want to, or are you doing it because you think it's going to look?
It's a thing, but it's the same with makeup shots. It's like people have this thing of rocking up to preps and being like, "I'm gonna get my makeup shots," and it's like, why? Why do you want?
Yeah.
She doesn't want a shot of her having a makeup done. It's just that you've seen it again and again and again in films and photos. It's just
okay.
spiraled. You don't need to do it.
yeah, oh, that's interesting.
Fair.
Good, that. I like that.
Most hilarious, embarrassing story that
Most
you've ever had
funny,
at a wedding.
yeah, embarrassing story. Whatever.
It could be embarrassing for you, or just some wild or funny.
Just pick one out. You can be as inappropriate as you
Phil's
want.
got so many good ones.
So many. I did list them all at the last because
I could have answered his questions.
The
I know so
festival-
much about his life.
the festival one, the film festival on their podcast.
Right.
They were like, do the 2 truths and a lie, and I just had the list. So I read the list of them out, which was like 7 of them, but
All outrageous could be a lie.
all outrageous. Could
Yeah.
be a lie. Embarrassing. I don't know. I think one of the examples I gave.
Interesting, funny, crazy story.
I don't know. I stopped. Going back to what you were just saying, then I stopped a guy filming his. He was live streaming the ceremony to the bride's dying father, and I stopped him. I was like, "You need to sit down. You're ruining my film." I only found out like
mate,
literally a
put your
second
iPad
after.
away,
I was
mate.
like,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh." It was a dad whose dad's only got like a day left to live, and he was watching.
Oh no!
Did he say yeah okay and put his phone?
Yeah,
away?
yeah. Like, it's just
Oh my god!
Yeah, you just thought guess with an iPhone. Like,
Oh
yeah,
my-
wait, mate, you're in the shot.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
there's so many of them that I forget which are
The
mine.
dying guys at the other end of the
Yeah.
watching, going,
I
"Why is
forget
it?
which stories.
why
are
is it-
mine.
You,
Why is
hear,
it
you,
gone
hear,
off?
you hear everyone's horror
Yeah.
stories, and they all blur, and you're like, who did that happen
They're a
to?
blend of like just hysterical. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know whether that happened to me or. But I listened to them because I thought one day there's a TV show in that. And I started like scripting bits out to be like, this is how.
Excellent.
But the weird thing is how do you pull all that
People have
together?
tried to make a reality show on the supplier side of weddings behind the scenes before, haven't they? I've been approached.
We got asked to be me. I got approached by somebody.
I've been
once.
approached
I think
by
Johnny
one.
Draper.
Yeah.
And it aired. It was called Ribble Valley Weddings, and it
Yeah.
started off to be the suppliers and like the dirty
Yeah,
secrets,
yeah.
and then in the end they went more couple centric, and it just wasn't the same thing.
No.
But that would be a great show.
I've thought,
But is it
with time-
suicide for you to, as a supplier, be
I
like
just
showing
keep-
all
I
the
dip
dirty
into it,
secrets
and
stuff?
there's so many stories that I've got listed. But I think the biggest problem is that you'd have a regular group of like four people in this TV show, and you go, how is it believable that this stuff happens every week? Like, because it's so far fetched. Do you know what I mean? That like, but there's some good. Yeah,
We've heard some great ones, haven't we, over the podcast?
Yeah,
This will be interesting. This is from our last guests, a question that they left for you, and we're going to ask you to leave a question for the next guest.
Steve,
It was
Bartlett-esque.
centered around AI. How do you see AI affecting your business in
Your
your
subset.
part of the wedding industry?
Yeah.
And how it's going to change things for you in the next few years?
Ooh, massively, isn't it? I was like
Coming for everyone, surely.
I was against it, totally
Except for
against
caterers, maybe.
it. Yeah, maybe even that.
And singers.
Even
Yeah,
You're going to get a robot. To do it.
no. Like
No.
you still, yeah, but
I don't know.
are you going to get a robot to come turn up and
Film.
press the buttons? But it'll
Well, true. Yeah.
I don't know. I was totally against AI.
Human
What do you-
connection.
how do you
People are
feel
always
about it?
going to want it. I think.
I've gone from being completely against it to like we were saying before. I'm now just like we're chatting every day.
You've got.
And now I'm like, and I'm getting so much from it.
Yeah.
But then I'm looking at the other things where
Makes you more productive. I think.
right. So not wedding before last video, and went to shoot the video, and they were like, you doing the drone? It's like, yeah, I'll get you a drone shot of the building. Lovely, big, massive, like, hotel in Hampshire, open countryside, and I had an hour to get these, like, drone shots because they went back to the room. My drone just wouldn't work. It was coming up with all these messages, and you're trying to fix it, and you're trying to update it, and you're doing everything, and I was like, it's just not going to work. So I didn't get it. In not getting the drone shot, I also didn't get any, like, establishing shots
Yeah,
of
because
the
the
building.
time you spent. Yeah.
So I was like, shit. But she specifically asked me for it. And then about 3 days ago, I just completely succumbed to it and just went, like, whatever it was, Claude or whatever, I was just like, you just make me a drone shot of the Hampshire Four Seasons cinematic.
Of course, yeah.
It just came back. It just gave it me right. I was like, fuck me. It's like, you just made me a video that is perfect in every way. And I dropped it in and went, I didn't need to do that. Like,
Wow.
So, what? So then you go, what? But then people want this authenticity and they want real stuff. And so I think it's going to infiltrate everything. I think it's going to infiltrate editing and...
It will infiltrate.
But,
I don't think it'll take
I
the
think
person
it'll
away
split
on the
market.
wedding day, though.
I think it'll split the market. I think there'll be transparency for what we do. There'll be transparency where companies will go, look, I'll be cheaper than most.
Yeah.
Might cost you £1,000. I'll turn up, do the day. Your film will turn around in a week. But by the way, it's heavily AI edited. Or you're paying a premium for human edited.
But then that's my luxury weddings are the kind of clients. So most luxury weddings
rather
are
pay
like
for the...
Hello Magazine. They want that. They want that kind of bright kind of. They want to be posed. They want that AI'd editing kind of stuff. Anyway,
Yeah, like airbrushed.
there's a very so luxury weddings are kind of tiny percentage of the market anyway. But then my luxury weddings are trying to get the kind of couples that I want, like arty couples, creative couples, who are minted as well. So trying to find that.
Yeah, because they're the ones that will
It's always like,
always
oh,
pay.
there's a parent got, gazillions in the bank, but they live in a little loft apartment and they're cool and trendy and they like their art and everything else. So that's genuinely what I end up with when I get them. It's a weird kind of blend, but I'll use it. Use it for the greenhouse.
Yeah, AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
used it massively.
Yeah, cool.
I use it every single day. I use stuff.
Can we have a question for the next person?
Who are they?
No, we can't tell you
Same.
because probably don't know myself.
Do we have anyone lined up? Don't let
Sure, can't remember.
What's the biggest error that you've ever made at a wedding? I was going to say like mistake, but the biggest error that you've made on a wedding day?
That story you said was definitely a big error, wasn't it? Stop filming.
Yeah. Everyone fucks up, don't they? It's-
I've got fucking
We've
loads.
all had 'em.
Getting the couple names wrong and introduced them in the room. I called a couple in, a man and woman, and it was two women's names. It's like I don't know why the hell did I do it. Lots of.
I'll bring it back
loads of errors.
to the start. What I always loved about you, and what was apparent from the first ever workshop, because I had put you on this pedestal prior, and then you realise that you're just another guy doing weddings, and you've made all the mistakes that I thought. Because when I was starting out, I was petrified of making all these mistakes, and thought I was an amateur for making them, and then everyone else has made the same ones. Doesn't matter how many years or how good you are. You've always been transparent and open and honest with that, and the reality is, and I think that's good for people now coming in to know that. That
it has to be.
Anyone that you look up to has probably gone through all the fucking mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, there are no
More
mistakes,
so.
are there? They're just lessons.
No lessons, because
lessons,
you've got
but
to go through them to learn, and
It's the rite
that's
of
where the
passage.
experience
It's
comes
the rite of
from, yeah.
passage. You have to be brave enough to put yourself in those positions where you will make a mistake, but then know you can just keep going through it and treat it as a lesson.
So then it's finding I don't know, when you make the mistake, it's how you deal with that mistake on the day, or
You're never going to
yeah.
succeed if you're just like, oh, sod it. You still got to care.
Oh, you've got to care.
Yeah.
We did the portraits a few weeks back in Ireland. Massive wedding in Ireland, and we drove there. And the printer's like the size of a small car anyway. The printer is huge. It's like a Fiat 500. So we took the printer, we set everything up, studio lights, everything. Turned the printer on. It just made this horrible noise, screeching noise.
Oh shit!
That was it. Then printer was dead. Right. So the whole point of this job is that you take portraits
and you have
print
the
those
printer.
Portraits. They displayed them. Right. So they had a whole gallery wall set up for breakfast the following morning, for space for like 100 odd printed portraits. Couldn't do it. Literally couldn't deliver the thing that we'd gone to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you style that out? What do you do? Now, luckily, it was a surprise for the bride. So someone had paid for it. So the bride didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah.
But it was like, we're not going to get a printer. We're not going to get a printer at all. But we could get a big telly from somewhere. So it was like, how can we? So we set that off in the background. And it goes against everything that the product is anyway. But if you've got nothing to deliver, they walked into breakfast with everything just being on a slideshow.
Yeah.
That's something.
And
Isn't it?
it's something. But then the lesson learned from that is you need 2 printers. You got 2 of everything else. You just think.
To me, I'm the same. Yeah.
Backup kit. I have backup cameras for everything.
I have backup PA, backup iPods.
I learned that the hard way. Like, camera goes down. Oh, I've not got a spare.
Yeah, I think I learned that the hard way as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Good. Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Philip White.
Thanks, man.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been good.
It's been really good. And we've got to get the burgers on now, so I need to break off. Thanks for watching and listening, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, 5-star review. It helps.
We'll link Philip's stuff, but you won't find anything online because you're not really online, are you?
No,
Very much.
But he's got his courses on there and things like that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Cheers. So thanks so much for listening. We really hope that you found this episode insightful, inspirational, and if you did enjoy that, then please consider subscribing to us wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. We're Think Wedding Business.
We're also on YouTube and Instagram, so if you want to watch us, you can go over to YouTube and find us at Think Wedding Business, and the same over on Instagram to keep up with all of our future episodes.
We'd really love you to subscribe and join us on this journey. And if you do like this content, please consider giving us a 5-star review. It just helps us get seen and helps spread the word.
So thanks again for listening,
Wings
and we'll see you
out.
next time.
Bye-bye.